Hi all, I want to thank those who are watching the video currently. In this video, I'll showcase an example of location analytics and I'll take one more example on how to give hidden business insights. These two use cases will give you the glimpse of what and how you will be trained in the course Applied Business Analytics. Guys, I'm going to take an example of location analytics. Most of the industry need this solution, and this solution will help them to identify the best location for their operations. For an example, if it's a manufacturing industry, they want to identify where shall they open the plant. If it is hospitality industry, they want to know where they shall open the restaurant or a hotel. And it is needless to say, if somebody wants to start his own venture, such as startup, this solution will help them finding the right location. So without wasting your time, let's get started with the case study. Mr. X wants to start an offline grocery retail business. He wants to know the best location to open a store. Now, I have taken explicitly an example of Bangalore where people can easily correlate. So the 5 locations what Mr. X has identified based on his market research is Marthalli, HSR Layout, Sarjapura Road, Koramangala and Whitefield. To solve any business problem, we need data. So do we rely on data given to us or can we demand more data? If you want to become the best in the industry business analyst, then we need to follow the following step. First, don't rely on the given data to you. Always ask for more. And how will you do that? Before looking at data sets, always start with identifying the factors or variables that will help you to solve the key question or a business problem. Every variable or factor you will list down in identifying step should have an hypothesis and a business justification behind it. The business justification is required so that you can search for the data across all the available databases. Number one. Number two, if it does not exist, you will make appropriate provisions to collect it. If nothing can be done, then and only then we will discard the variable. Now we know the step. Let's start with the first step, which is identifying the variables to solve the key question. In our use case, the key question will become identifying the factors that influence location decision. So first factor will be cost of the property. We do not want to pay higher rent or highest cost for the property. So lower the property cost, higher the chances of selecting it. Second variable will be availability of labors or workforce. For any kind of work to be done, we need human workforce. Whether the given location has a good quality of labors or workforce, and can they be easily available based on the requirement? If it is yes, then that location is the best for us. Third variable will be demographic or the population distribution. What type of population or people reside in the location? That basically helps in identifying the demand for your store. So in our case, we will be finalizing the property or the location where more of the family customers, more of the couples are staying. Fourth factor will be proximity of suppliers. To run a business successfully, we need the material or the product available at the faster rate from your suppliers. So suppliers are near to you, the lead time to produce, so the lead time to get the product in your store as and when required will be faster. So the proximity of supplier closer to you will be the best location for your use case. Proximity of competitors. If more competitors exist in your area, then chances of success will be lower. So you need to identify the place or the location where lesser number of competitors exist and the distance between you and competitor is more than any other location. Another variable will be accessibility. How good is the connectivity for a store, or whether the store has a sufficient parking space, whether the store is connected with the metro station or not. These factors are very important. The reason being, you don't want to attract the population only from your location. The customers can come to your store from any other place. So better the accessibility, higher will be the demand or sales in your store. Next will be availability of resources. You in the area you select, you need water, electricity and any other material required at the faster rate. So you will be identifying the location where you get these three things easily. Regulatory policy. For our use case, this variable won't make much sense, but I have added this because if you want to open the store in different states or you want to open stores in different countries, then the policy of the state or the policy of government, stability of government, the policies whether they are corporate friendly or not does play very important role. In our case, all the five locations what we consider are from Bangalore only, so the variable for this variable is not that much of important for us. Last variable in consideration is size of the property, whether the size or capacity is sufficient for running the successful operation or not. If all the location factors are right but the property size itself is lower and that does not fulfill the requirement, then you need to drop this property. Let's look at the solution for the problem at hand, which is location analytics. In this, we'll feed all the inputs to the AHP model, and AHP model will give us the rank and the score for the location we shall invest. Now, how this work? The data for this kind of a use case won't be available. So we select a panel of experts from the business development team and we give them the template with all the factors listed on the left hand side, like cost of property, availability of labors, demographic, proximity of competitors, availability of resources, regulatory and policy issues, proximity of suppliers, transportation, and size of property. So for these attributes, for each location, these business practitioners will give the rating from 1 to 9, where 1 is too low and 9 is very high. Once this template is created, that is fed to the AHP model. Now what is AHP? AHP basically stands for Analytical Hierarchy Process. In AHP model, we combine math and psychology together and it selects the best option required for the use case. So how does it work? It does work using the concept called pairwise comparison. So when we build a machine learning model, it compares all the criteria together and identify the best. But in AHP, it compares individually each parameter against all the location and identify the weight. So it is very easy to understand AHP model. So using AHP model, we will calculate the weights of each of the KPIs. I will cover AHP model complete building part during the application of Excel module in detail. Let's look at the actual solution and how we are going to conclude on the best location suited for our use case. We have selected 3-member panel who come from the business side and they are from the business development team and they are known as industry expert. These experts receive a simple template which is very to very easy to understand. All the factors are listed on the left hand side and we ask them to rate for each location what is their view or opinion against each factor on a scale of 1 to 9, 1 being low and 9 being high. So let's look at an example how a person A has rated different locations and what is the score actually coming out to be. So for cost of the property, the person A thinks the property prices are very cheaper in Whitefield and he rates them higher because of the quotation what he has received. Availability of labors. For any business to be successful we need labors and he thinks Marthalli and Sarjapura Road we will get more number of labors than any other location, so they rate them high. Population and demographic. For retail business to be successful we need more of family members and the couples, so he thinks that kind of a crowd is heavily available in Sarjapura Road, so he rates them higher, followed by Whitefield and Marthalli. Proximity of suppliers. So considering Bangalore traffic, and the suppliers available outskirts of the area, so they think Sarjapura Road will have more number of suppliers easily available, so he rates him higher. Proximity of competitors. As per him, the competition will be very high in Whitefield, followed by Marthalli, so he rates really high for HSR layout where the competition is very less. Transportation and accessibility. Considering Bangalore traffic is worse, but in that worse situation he thinks Sarjapura has lesser amount of traffic and easily accessible for people, so he rates them higher. Availability of resources, regulatory policies and size of the property. Here we assume all 5 locations are from Bangalore, so these parameters doesn't play much role, so everybody gets rating of 9. So one thing to note guys, the factors or the weights we have calculated using the ASP model, and how to calculate these factors I'll be training you in detail in the advanced Excel module. In that module I'll also share how to create ASP model. I'll also give you the template and ASP module as is, which you can leverage in any of the problem statement in near future. The application of ASP is not only in location selection, it is also in vendor scorecard that you will learn in subsequent module. Now once these factors are created, we simply use in Excel a function called sum product where factors are multiplied by each individual row and we get the weights. So as per this, person A rates Sarjapura Road the highest, whereas person B or panel B rates Whitefield the highest, followed by the Marthalli. Now we have asked person C to rate his opinion across all the factors for all the locations, and as per him he thinks all the locations are very important for the business, strategically they are good, so he doesn't differentiate across any of the location and he gives the same weight. So what does that result into? So as per him all the locations are important and each carries the weight, and the results are around 6.5 score for each location. Now we have the rating from person A, person B and person C. Now how to conclude? So the conclusion can be derived from taking the each person's rating for each location. For example, A has rated Marthalli 6.15, B has rated 7.25, C has rated 6.5. So such that from all the persons we have taken the rating for each location by person. Now we have done the simple average of this. So Marthalli rating comes out to be 6.63, HSR comes out to be 5.67, Sarjapura comes out to be 6.95, Kormanga comes out to be 5.27 and Whitefield comes out to be 6.82. So what does that mean? So as per all the 3 persons combined weight together, Sarjapura Road comes out to be the best location for the business proposal, followed by Whitefield and Marthalli. So first preference shall be given to Sarjapura Road. So guys, to become the best in the industry data analyst, we should know how to give business insights which are actionable. So let's see how you will learn these skills with the given module. Let's assume you have one store in Bangalore and you sell only one type of product throughout the year and year over year. There is no change in the product. There is no change in product line. You only sell one type of product throughout the year. And we have captured the data, and data shows the performance of the store. Let's understand the data first. So in the table below, we have data at year level. That is one row for a year, and we capture all the information at year level. So the data actually captures 4 years history from 2019 to 2022. It captures revenue, which is nothing but the sales. It captures footfall, that means the number of customers visiting your store. Actual customers, those who bought, which is customer count. You can say this is loyal customers. ATV. ATV is nothing but average transaction value. That means how much worth of item customers are shopping when they visit your store in one transaction. Visits, the number of times customer visits your store. Quantity. Quantity is nothing but number of quantities customer bought in the transaction. So after having this understanding of data, let's try to give some of the insights. I'm sure 99% of the people will give the below insights. YOY sales are increasing, that is year over year sales are increasing. Year over year footfall has increased, more number of people started coming to your store. YOY loyal customer count is decreasing, that means your churn rate has increased. Year over year the average transaction value per customer has increased significantly. From 100 it has become 429 now. That means people are buying more number of quantities. So guys, what are the insights I just highlighted right now? I will call them not the actionable insights. For me, they are simply data reading. Now let's understand how to generate actionable insights. So guys, don't give data reading insights, give the hidden actionable insights. And how to do that? In order to do that, let's take one guru mantra, that is look for information beyond given data. That is, don't get satisfied from the given data and give insights. You have to look, can something be derived out of the given data so that we can give and focus on the actionable insights. From the given data, we have added two more variables, that is selling price and the conversion rate. At the start of the problem statement, I did mention that we are selling only one product in the store. So if I divide ATV by quantity sold, I'll get the selling price, that is 100 by 2 will be 50. So this clearly shows the selling price has increased year over year, and that might be the reason of customer churn. Second point is conversion rate. So the customers, those who are shopped, we have the number, and the customers those who walked in the stores, we have that number. So if I divide customers by footfall, I will get the conversion rate in my stores, and that basically shows the conversion rates are drastically decreasing. So these two becomes the most actionable insights for the business. Correct? So first one, customer count is decreasing because you are increasing the selling price. Now this is the insight. Now how do you justify this with the two more data sets? Currently those are not available, but if you can search if it's available in your metadata. That is, the cost price of the vendor has increased, and because I want to maintain the margin, I am increasing my selling price. And if the cost price is not increased by my vendor, then am I increasing my margin more than expected? If it is yes, can those margin be reduced to increase the customer count? So these kind of a discussions we should have with the business during our discussions. So second insight will be the conversion rate has decreased year over year. So we need to give the reason behind that. So conversion rate can decrease. There are two reasons to it. First, either when customers are coming, the product is not available in the store. That means the product is getting out of stock. So let's identify the stock data. If the stock is getting out of stock, then we recommend business to have a demand forecasting model that will help you to maintain the right level of inventory as and when required. So that will reduce the churn as well as increase the conversion rate. Second point, if the stock is not out of stock, then it is certainly the reason being the selling price. That means the perceived price for the product is really high. So we need to work on either giving the markdown or need to work on giving the price discounts. So if you are thinking of creating the right price point, then we need to have the pricing model in place. So this is how you recommend the business actionable insights.